Band 7 to 9 phrases in IELTS writing task 2.
A maximum wage
Employee remuneration.
should be kept.
Excellent pay packages.
Attract the most talented people.
The huge sums that they are willing to pay.
Highly motivated.
Drive their businesses.
A thriving economy.
Increase tax revenues.
A limit on earnings.
The pay gap.
Demotivate workers.
Lower executive salaries.
Higher minimum wages.
Everybody will be better off.
Poverty and crime rates fall.
The general population.
An improved standard of living.
Set a limit.
The highest earners.
Good vocabulary. Topic: climate change.
Represents a major threat to
Tackle this issue.
reduce the human impact.
To prevent, or at least mitigate, climate change. Limit the carbon dioxide emissions.
Impose green taxes on drivers.
Other polluters.
Invest in renewable energy production.
Energy efficient.
Voting for politicians who propose to tackle climate change.
The consequences will be disastrous.
Not optimistic that we would be able to cope.
Rise in sea levels.
People would be displaced.
The means to safeguard low-lying areas.
Forced to migrate to nearby cities.
The potential for human suffering would be huge.
Outbreaks of disease and famine.
Increased homelessness and poverty.
Band 7 to 9 Band 7 to 9 phrases.
It is an abstract concept with no definite meaning.
It can mean or represent.
Depending on a person's age, culture, or background.
A feeling of pleasure in a particular moment.
A state of mind.
Adults equate happiness with
Health, security, financial stability, or success.
we seek contentment.
In our own individual ways. The proposed closure.
Stress how important something is,
On a daily basis.
which they enjoy immensely.
An integral part of the local community.
A social hub in the town.
Lose a treasured facility.
Within a reasonable distance.
Have a detrimental effect on.
Quality of life.
Take these concerns into consideration.
Seen as places of opportunity.
Major drawbacks.
A large metropolis.
The average inhabitant.
The cost of living.
Urban areas, rural areas. High crime and poverty rates.
The air quality is poor.
Public transport systems are overcrowded.
Take steps to tackle these problems.
Affordable housing.
Ban vehicles.
Promote the use of cleaner public transport.
Traffic congestion, a congestion charge.
Curb the traffic problem.
Provincial towns.
Reduce the pressure on.
Implement a range of measures.
Enhance the quality of life.
Less common phrases in IELTS.
The internet is beginning to rival newspapers.
The traditional press.
Vital source of information.
The internet age.
Traditional means of communicating.
Rural areas.
The ability or opportunity to get online.
Trusted as reliable sources.
Employ professional journalists and editors.
News in real time.
Gadgets and mobile devices.
Contribute with our own updates on social media.
An explosion in the use of platforms.
At short notice.
made the spontaneous decision.
To eat out.
We could not have chosen a better restaurant.
The ceremony had taken place.
My friends and I. We were relieved to have finally.
We were in good hands.
Friendly and obliging.
Such a memorable evening.
Each episode featured.
Spectacular footage.
It was broadcast.
The DVD box set.
It was advertised repeatedly.
The trailers were eye-catching.
Incredibly beautiful images.
The voice of the narrator.
Stunning photography.
Global scope.
To film such interesting creatures in so many locations.
Opened my eyes to the hidden wonders of our planet.
I personally prefer the current system in which, if this were the case,
Value creative thinking skills above practical or technical skills.
passionate about what they are learning.
From a personal perspective, on the societal level, job opportunities, career progression, better salaries, knowledge and skill gaps are covered, greater future prosperity.
Erratically, precipitation, mishandling, bungling, convenient, handy, certain key subject areas, the courses of their choice.
Cartography, symptoms manifested, fundamental things, balance, symmetry and repetition, soul destroying.
Rigid, bleak, relentless, harsh, established film industries, huge budgets, big budget films, shoot scenes in spectacular locations, Hollywood blockbusters.
Global appeal, they star the most famous actors, made by the most accomplished producers, suffers in comparison.
In theory, in practice, made a mess of, informal, the core of, the point at which, are increasingly likely to take on the role of house husband, breadwinners, equal rights movements, made great progress.
Gain qualifications, pursue a career, become socially acceptable, the rising cost of living, marriage partners, starting a family.
Personal preference should be seen as progress, equal opportunities, put under pressure, sacrifice their careers.
Assume childcare responsibilities, parental role, their particular circumstances and needs, wider changes in society, these developments are desirable. A future aim of mine, the plot would be fictional, influenced by some of my own experiences, ideas and views. I might suddenly be inspired.
A vague objective, time, commitment and passion, to set a goal. I've always wondered how, create a work of fiction, bringing a story to life, follow in the footsteps of my.
All sorts of things, a certain amount of. I pick up a newspaper most days. I usually
to immerse themselves in, upset by, opposed to, for ethical reasons.
carry out research. Stalls are spread across several sites. The centerpiece, an array of mouth-watering food and drink, spilling over into other pedestrian streets, etc.
The fantastic atmosphere. Manchester seemed to come alive. The streets were bustling. There was a real festive feel to the city.
Compile a list. Build a repertoire. The current generation of language learners don't know how lucky they are.
Hazardous materials are buried underground, are recycled, know the basics, rely on pre-prepared meals. That would surely be a good thing.
Remember, understanding a word is not the same as being able to use it. Practice using the phrases above in your own sentences. Thank you for your watching. Subscribe our channel for more lessons.